Skinny legs. Bam. Quads, bro. Quads. Alrighty. Hello and welcome to episode number 74 of the Better Not Perfect Show. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes out of your day and tuning in. As always, I am your host, Dan Martin, and we spend a few minutes each day going over some useful tools that you can use to improve your fitness, your nutrition, your general health. I am broadcasting live here from the bunker underneath my pool in my backyard in Miami Beach. So happy to be here today. There is a nice lively discussion on my Facebook page about studio monitors today. So if you're into music production and you've got studio monitors and you have some feedback for me on the next set of studio monitors I should get, please go over to that thread and drop something in the comments. It has finally cooled down substantially here in Miami Beach. It's no longer a blast furnace 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is great. It means getting outside and moving is a lot easier. You don't immediately sweat the second you step out of the door. I do miss those crisp fall days and those beautiful trails up north there, you know. So today we are going to talk about why novelty is a recipe for failure. First, off of the bat, I understand that it's human nature to crave novelty, especially in the times that we're in where everything is readily available. And if you don't like something for even 30 seconds, you can go find something else. So for fitness and nutrition, it's very important to understand that when things are working, there is no need to change it or fix it, right? So, great example. I am doing a program written by the head coach of Fit 305, Jeff Costamiris. I have been repeating the same movements for the past 6 weeks. It has been highly effective. I'm repeating the movements. I'm adding a little bit of weight. He's controlling the reps and the frequency for me. We just added on one more workout per week, and I have seen tremendous results. We're talking about my biceps have grown an inch. My chest has grown a couple of inches. You know, I wasn't lifting weights for a long time in this fashion when I was training for the high rock stuff. It was a lot more running, a lot more cardio. I was a little bit lighter on the weight. But the same thing went with that type of training too, right? It was all about consistency. The same runs every week, maybe adding a little bit of distance. What I see when I work with people and when people talk about programming and what they think programming is, they're looking for novelty, which isn't necessarily a horrible thing. If that's what gets you up and gets you motivated is some novelty, that's fine. But what you have to get your head wrapped around is that the real results, and this goes for nutrition too, any lifestyle change really, comes from consistently doing the same movements or perhaps even eating the same meals over and over and over and over. Why? Well, with exercise, it's pretty simple. You work the body, you allow it to adapt, and then you hit it with the same thing slightly increased, or the time under tension is increased, or the load is increased, the reps are increased, and then you see results. Muscle grows, the joints get stronger, you feel better, or with running, you're able to run faster, rest a little bit less. But it has to be consistently done week in and week out, repeating a lot of the same things. Sometimes people will say, well, I'm getting bored. And what I say at that point is dig in to the mind-body connection, right? Dig into where you're supposed to be feeling movement, how you're supposed to be feeling movement, and go inside of that. And when you're able to do that, you'll get a lot more out of it. The other thing that should be noted is people almost always start out too heavy or too complex, or they think they need to be working out for a long time, an hour or an hour and a half a day. Most people should start with like 2 exercises, 20 minutes a day, and that's it, right? The novelty factor of needing to do 50 different movements has been spread through Instagram, and it's a real disservice to people understanding how exercise works, because people see on Instagram all these already very fit people doing this series of 5 or 10 exercises, and they think they need to do that, when in fact, nothing is further from the truth. Those novelty movements are not going to get you results. Those novelty movements are going to stall your progress, and they may just end up getting you injured. If you don't have a perfect push-up, a basic perfect push-up, you should not be doing wild variations of push-ups. And you probably shouldn't be doing explosive jumping movements in general unless you already have a great air squat and a few other things. Unfortunately, you see these hot young people on Instagram doing fancy movements, and you think this is what I need to do. No! You need to do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, simple movement patterns, and you need to understand and master those movement patterns. And then once you master those movement patterns, then you can add on to them, right? With food, and I was actually starting my breakfast before I decided to go live, but this is very similar to what I have every day. I already ate a couple of handfuls of spinach. I already had a bunch of water. This is oats and vegan protein powder, right? I do this every other day. The other days I'm having a smoothie with similar ingredients. Why? Because it makes everything easier. The same reason that I have 15 pairs of the same brand of shorts. I know they fit, they feel great. I started buying their pants. Shout out Bird Dogs. Full disclosure, they don't pay me to say that. They did give me a bunch of free product when we first started communicating. Now I buy it because I like it. Anyways, simplicity with food, with fitness, right? If you know what you're going to eat, it's a hell of a lot easier to succeed versus what am I going to do? If you're trying to figure out what you're going to have for lunch 10 minutes beforehand, and you're in a food desert, or you're at a desk and you only have Uber Eats as your option, you're going to fail. However, if you plan your lunches far in advance and you know what you're going to have for the week, your chances for success are increased exponentially. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Likewise, for me, I know that if Jeff is writing a program for me and I'm doing bicep curls 2 times a week under tension, these suckers are going to grow, right? I also know that if I'm benching and doing push-ups and stuff, my triceps, my chest, all that stuff is going to grow, which is what I want right now, right? After High Rocks, I leaned out, I got real thin, was running pretty quick, but I lost some of the upper body development that I enjoyed, right? So now the consistency of doing bicep curls and bench presses and lateral raises and Powell raises and things along those lines will bring it back. What's not going to get it back is jumping from program to program to program, looking for that novelty that we crave so hard, right? That's fine in video games or whatever else you're doing, but for fitness and food, you want to make sure that you're doing something consistently over time. Doing the right things, right? You can't be eating Oreos consistently over time and think that you're going to get weight loss gains. Likewise, you can't be doing sloppy half rep push-ups and think that you're going to get stronger. That's not going to work either, right? But novelty is a recipe for failure. And I see it constantly where people get distracted after a month or 2 months or 3 months or even sometimes less. Right? A lot of times people will see early success 3 or 4 weeks in and they're like, yay, I made it, when in fact they're not even close to their goal. They just got a little bit there and now they're distracted and they're going towards other shiny objects. Shiny object syndrome is real. Shiny object syndrome will stop you from reaching your goals instead of being focused, laser focused on one thing, getting multiple programs. And hey, I'm guilty of it too. I have multiple arrows shooting out of my head, working on music, working on fitness, all that stuff. But you have to give yourself time to succeed, and you have to repeat things in order to find that success. I hope that this helps you. Oh yeah, I'm giving away my recipe book and my new resource guide. I just had them redesigned. I'm super proud of them. They're in simple to read PDF form. I tried to make it abundantly easy for you to look at and get a feel for what I do. These are, of course, no strings attached. I'll just send them to you. If you choose to work with me down the line, great. And also, I just found out that there are some change of plans for some stuff I had coming up, which means that I will have more time to put into coaching individuals. So if you are sitting on the fence and have been waiting to work with me for a while, reach out. I now do have some spots. I know I've been saying for a couple of weeks I'm not taking anybody until January. That has in fact changed. So I'm going to take a few people for December. Late November, early December start. Just reach out to me. I'll give you all the details on that. There's a couple of ways that you can go. You can go expensive or you can go cheap. Totally up to you how you want to do it. That is it. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you want those things, the recipe book or the resource guide, just reach out to me. They're simple, no strings attached. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. This has been episode number 74 of the Better Not Perfect Show. Woo!